Hey guys. I was just so ready.
Darn it, Mary. Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrian Mendoza, and today I'm with my girlfriend, Mary. And today we are doing episode 1 of the Creative Couple Podcast. I've never done a podcast with Mary, and it feels we always talk
I've
about.
never done a podcast with Aiden.
Yeah, we've both done podcasts with other people except ourselves. Just like a little bit of background, what we've been thinking about for a long time is, hey, like we have a lot of kind of aspirations and dreams as a couple, and like success. I don't know. We want to be successful, obviously, like anybody does.
Mm-hmm.
And we're a couple who likes to openly talk about how to be successful.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like we've been planning this forever. Like, remember when we said we would do it in the closet?
In the closet? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. A long time ago, we were going to
Yeah.
want to do this podcast in the closet.
Mm.
This podcast is going to be, if you maybe are in a relationship or maybe you're not, but I think it is important to talk about finances, and especially in the point in the relationship where all the secrets are kind of loose in a way. Like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm $20,000 in debt. What? That's important stuff that I think as a couple you need to talk about, and just in general. Like, we should start being more open about stuff like our finances and our dreams. That way people around us could understand, and especially in a relationship, that way we could understand what we need and what we want, and maybe help each other out like that. But we just happen to be a creative couple, and so that's why it's called the Creative Couple Podcast. No, but the reason why it's called Creative Couple is because I'm all about creativity, because I have a huge background in videos and photos, like videography and photography. And Mary is kind of like the genius over here, but she has like her own YouTube channel, which is about to hit 100 subscribers and stuff like that. And she actually helps me out. She's a photographer whenever we do weddings. And she is an amazing drawer,
Yeah, and you forgot to mention I'm actually more creative than you are.
Why?
Yeah, I am. I am.
No. Okay. Okay. Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. So.
Okay, I'm just a little bit more, but not way more.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about credit. And this is probably a subject or topic that isn't just going to be able to fit in one video, and especially as we keep learning more about credit cards, which Mary is like the credit card expert. Yeah.
Just kidding. Well, yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that I feel like usually when you say credit, like the word itself sometimes carries like a negative feeling on it, but it's not. So.
Yeah, that's true. It's not. So back in my hometown in Brownsville, Texas, I worked at my church, and it was the most amazing job I've ever had. I thought that I was going to be there for the rest of my life until I wasn't. I worked in the video department, in the creative department. I was a video producer. And in my office, it was only me, my coworker John, who was the graphics and web dude, and Jared, which was my boss. And Jared always told me, he would always tell me, like, yeah, man, I messed up. Like, I used credit cards like when I was younger. When I turned 18, I started getting them in the mail, and I just started using them to shop for clothes. And now I'm in debt. Like, I forgot how the story, and Jared, if you're watching this, I'm not trying to say that you were bad with credit. I'm just saying that, like, I know you talk to me a lot of times about that, about your experience. And I do appreciate that because he was like warning me. And, I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna do that. And, like, I think I wasn't prideful in that way, but I know, like, if you ever say, like, yeah, that's never gonna be me, like, be careful because you never know how life is gonna play out. But anyways, yeah, I said, like, that's never gonna be me. I'm not gonna be dumb with money. And actually, I took a course with Jared because I think he was able to get out of debt, and he actually led a Financial Peace University course that I attended. So it was pretty cool. For the summer before I started college, I took that course and I was able to find out about the $1,000 emergency fund and stuff like that. And at the time I didn't have any debt. So, Jared tells me, like, Jared's always warning me about debt and, like, don't do what I did. I started getting credit cards in the mail. I would go shopping for clothes, American Express, I don't know what. And first of all, I'm like the type of guy who doesn't shop for new clothes like
Ever.
until like every year or two. I'll go like to Target to buy a $10 shirt, unless I get like a gift.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you get like your own shirt. Like your last wardrobe change was like gifts, 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 gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not. It's not that I'm like stingy or anything. It's just that I really don't care about clothes. So when he told me, like, yeah, I just, like, I got a bunch of clothes and I needed new jeans, and I was like, that is so not me. I am so grateful because I'm not going to be in the problem of having a lot of credit in stores. And what happened later on in my life? There I was sitting with about $7,000 in credit card debt. I feel like it's like one of those like kind of like running and it's like freeze frame is like, hey, I want to explain to you how I got here. Like all of a sudden like it's me in 2014, just graduated high school. And I'm like, I'm gonna conquer the world and I'm not gonna get any credit cards because Dave Ramsey said credit cards are the devil. And and then and now here I am. What is it now? Exactly 5 years later, because I graduated in 2014. Just yesterday, I paid off my last credit card that was like $780 or something like that. And I actually didn't start paying anything off until the beginning of July. So basically, I'm not trying to brag, but from the beginning of July till right now, which is August like 9th, basically in the month I was able to slash my credit cards basically not even in half. Like I was just able to like obliterate them. I was able to pay it, and it wasn't just one credit card. It was a couple credit cards. I had like $3,500 in Best Buy, about 15 or 18 in my Wells Fargo credit card, which I got that credit card when I started college and only use it for college. And I had about 1,000 in my Discover card.
Which we'll be talking about later.
Yeah, which we'll be talking about later. So, so I had all this debt that was just keeping me stressed all the time. And, so basically sometime in the summer, I was telling Mary, like, it's funny. Jared warned me so much about debt and credit cards, and I always thought that's not going to be me. And where was I in the beginning of this summer? In June of 2019, I was unemployed. Well, not unemployed, but I'm self-employed.
Self-employed.
Yeah. I'm self-employed with $7,000 in debt, in credit card debt, not including student loans, which is, I just checked today because that's my next goal. My student loan debt is $11,800. So, I'm sitting there in summer, like, no job, just doing what I do, which I still like earn an income, but
I
You
mean,
know,
you were
it's,
able to pay your credit cards with that, so.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. But still, it was like, if you're self-employed, especially small business, you can never like, oh yeah, like I'll be able to pay that off. Like it's like very unstable in a way, and it can become stable if you learn how to manage your money. But still, like what I was trying to do is I'm trying to pay off $7,000 of debt, and I have no idea. Well, not that I have no idea. No, I mean, I didn't know that I was going to be able to. I just set my mind to it, and like I was able to do it. Thank God. Um, but so the point is though that there I was telling Mary, I thought I was never going to get in debt. How did it happen? And we were doing some kind of like, well, we weren't really talking about it, but I was just like in retrospect, like, what could I have done differently? But then I thought, like the debt that I got were was basically investment and assets. Basically in Best Buy, I used it to buy a lot, like most of my gear when I came to San Antonio, and there were some things, there were some cameras and lenses that I bought that was like on 12 months no interest, and what happened was that I missed that deadline of the 12 months. I think like I was like very close to like finishing paying it off. And then what happened was that if if you don't, if you miss the deadline, basically all the debt that's accumulated over the year, it just kind of like gets like balloon added to your credit card. Like, all of a sudden, let's say it was no interest for a year, but if you don't pay it off in a year, you're going to get charged 29% interest. So that I was like, not, I don't think I was like very close to finishing paying it off, but I know I was like very, very close. And then all of a sudden, like, boom, like I think at least $1,500 in interest.
Wow.
So that shot me like back up like hardcore. And, that sucked. And when that happened, that was like kind of discouraging because I was like, dang it. Like, and I think back before this summer, it had gone back up to like 4,000. And I was like, man, like I was so close. I think I was like at 1,600 or something. And all of a sudden to just see that balance go back up, even though I did mess up, I I didn't, it's not like I used that for clothes, that were going to last me. Maybe not that, well, to me, clothes last a lot, but, I didn't get it. I didn't go into debt basically. I kind of regretted it, but I didn't because I knew that was debt I acquired by buying assets and not buying commodities, right? Or luxuries, basically. You know,
And now you have a lot of money in assets now that you paid everything off.
yeah, basically, because you know how accounting works. Assets equals equity minus liability. Wait, no, sorry. Equity equals
It doesn't
assets.
matter.
Equity equals assets minus liabilities. I'm not sure if I have it 100% right, but basically, I think it's a good like thing to kind of look back on, especially if you own your own small business, kind of. It's a good thing to kind of like take a step back and reflect and just count all the things you have in your room or under your possession. If you have a computer and a MacBook, add that up. And then if you have a car that you've paid cash for, add that up. And what, like, so for me, I started adding my desktop, my MacBook, my cameras, my lenses. And then you find out that, whoa, how in the world, like, well, it's not like that mind blowing, but that's a good way to find out your net worth in a way, or what you're worth. Like if you had to sell everything you had, how much would you be able to come up with, right? And net worth sounds like it should only be used for like millionaires, like a $1.2 million net worth, but it can really be used for us normal people as well. And I think not a lot of people think of it that way. So, if you're a small business owner or something like that, or just like a student, I don't care, we're both students. Like, I think it's a good idea to count your assets, add them up, and kind of calculate more or less what your net worth is. And, maybe it doesn't need to be that high right now if you don't own your own house or your car. But especially if you're a small business owner, it's a good idea to count your assets, and have a calculation of how much equipment you have and your gear's worth and stuff like that. So, anyways, basically, the point is that the credit that I kind of went into was either to build up my net worth or my assets, or invest in my education. I never used a credit card to buy shoes or buy clothes or buy, I don't know, like a random trip to Six Flags.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, with using your credit card to buy things you want. I think your error, Adrian, in like doing the credit card business was that you bought things without having the money to pay for them right away, because like if you mentioned like, oh, I didn't use my credit cards to buy clothes or buy whatever, but it's okay to do that if that's what you want to do, as long as you have the money to
Yeah,
pay
if you
for
have
it.
the money, yeah.
And that doesn't mean like, oh, go and spend $1,000 on clothes like right away. It just means it's okay to use your credit card to buy anything you want, to buy food, to buy groceries. That's how you get cash back and things like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But pay for it right away.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And that's one thing also my dad always told me, like, or he says, like, when you go out and buy something, it's scary because you don't just go out and buy like, oh, I'm gonna buy like $10 jeans, or like, no, like when you say like, hey, I'm gonna go buy something I need to buy, it's because I need to buy something that's like minimum like $100 or something. I'm not trying to say I'm like super rich or like I spend a lot, but that's the thing with me. Like, I never, like, until I decide something, I'm like, I need that, and then I go out and get it. I want it, I got it. Sorry. But yeah, so anyways, so that was kind of like my experience, and that's kind of like a very in a nutshell, um, like description or summary of my credit and how I got into debt. That debt is kind of crippling, to be honest. Like, you feel like you can't do it. And like, I had a lease for like the longest time, and
A car lease.
Yeah, a car lease. And I don't want to say it was a dumb decision to get that lease, but that lease definitely, that was like $356 I could have been putting every month towards paying my credit card. But that money had to go to the car that I drove, and it didn't allow me to pay off my credit card. So that was that. But now, without further ado, I hope I haven't bored you, but now we have the saint when it comes to credit. We have Gabriela Maritzel Martinez Delgadillo. Just kidding. Delgadillo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Mary, can you tell us how a saint angel uses credit?
Yeah, so I think Adrian and I are like black and white
Yeah,
when
we're
it
black and
comes
white
to
hardcore.
credit history and things like that. Although you're not like the worst case scenario, I would say. But
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good. And yeah, I've been blessed to have like a good credit history. And honestly, my mom always tells me like, you honestly got like very lucky when it came to credit cards, because I was able to apply for them like when I turned, I guess, 18, I don't know, and like get them right away. And my sister, like, she was barely able to get hers because I referred her, and she's like 20, so I mean, that doesn't matter. But anyway, I always tell Adrian that I think because I'm from Mexico and my parents are from Mexico, so all my life, I've known that my parents, they own their house, they own their cars, they own every single thing that they have, and that's how things really are in Mexico. Like, and I'm not saying there's not like people in debt, because there are people in debt in Mexico, and but like those are just like worst case scenarios. That there's people who probably maybe don't own their houses, or they get like their fridge or their stove from like Electra and like 12-month no interest. So there's cases where people have debt, but it's not for everyday things, or I don't know. Like, at least my parents, they don't have like a credit slash debt history, and they do have a credit card. My mom has a credit card, and but she only uses it for like travel or things that have to be paid online. So like a plane ticket, if from another city. I don't know. Sometimes you do need a credit card just because of that. And growing up, I always thought credit cards were only for that. Like, I was like, cash only, cash only. And credit cards are just meant for online things, or things that you actually need a credit card for. So, like, for paying for your phone, paying for internet, all those services, I was like, oh, that's what credit cards are for. Because imagine going out to pay your phone every month, like going to Sprint and like, here's like my cash, like it would be so inconvenient. So I thought credit cards were meant for convenience. And then when I what?
That was just funny because like you thought credit cards were meant for convenience, like to not have to pay everything like cash and go.
Uh-huh.
Like people don't see credit cards like, oh, it's just a convenient way to make. No, people see credit cards as like,
Free
yeah,
money.
like free money. So I think that's where a lot of Americans get it wrong.
I think they see it as more than free money, maybe like future money. It's like, oh, yeah, yeah, like I'll use my credit card right now, but I'll pay it later. And then that later never comes. And then the debt keeps accumulating.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was my first intro to credit cards from my family. But then when I started high school, well, I guess when I was finishing high school, we took an economics class, and that's when I started learning more about credit cards. And that was with Dave Ramsey. Like, they would put the DVDs.
We actually met in a Dave Ramsey class.
No.
So Dave Ramsey, thank you for
We
hooking us
didn't.
up.
No, that's not true. Our teacher, she was our economics teacher. She would just play the Dave Ramsey videos every day. So that's what my class for economics was. And I remember back then I didn't have a credit card or anything. But I remember watching Dave Ramsey, and he would be like, credit cards is bad. Always use cash. Always use cash, because if you have a credit card, it's so easy to swipe and not count your cash or whatever. So in my mind, I was like, yes, like credit is bad. Credit is bad. But then, my mom told me like, hey, like you need to get a credit card because you need to start building your credit history. And back then I didn't even know what credit history was. So I just opened a credit card for fun, I guess, just to start the credit history. And
which one was your first credit card?
My first credit card was Capital One.
Capital One.
And
would you recommend that right now though?
No. Well, oh, actually, hold on. I would. Yes, but okay, hold on, hold on. Well, what am I trying to say? First of all, I want to say that the reason why I got into cards, my first card was a debit card, and I think
that's most people. Yeah.
I think I opened my debit card and then my credit card, and they were kind of like at the same time, and they were both with Capital One, and the reason why I opened my debit card the first time was because I lost 500 cash, or like basically someone stole them from me at a Krispy Kreme's. So I think that's another video story time or something. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's the reason why I got a debit card. I was 18. I had 500. I had just graduated high school. I lost it all my savings. I lost them. And
Are you talking about the Krispy Kreme?
Yeah.
Okay, you should just talk about it.
No, it's too long. Okay, basically, we were in Cancun, and like, I had like $500 plus cash because I didn't have a debit card, and
You had gotten that money for your birthday.
I yeah, some of it. I think most of it had been for my birthday, like just gifts, like. And honestly, agent, like growing up, whenever I got um money, my mom opened a savings account for the three of us. And whenever we got money, she would be like, "Do you want to put in your savings account?" And I just want to say, my mom is super big in saving, and she's
Very
so
much.
good at like knowing how to manage the money. So I was in Cancun, or we were all in Cancun, and we had gone to explore,
No, nothing.
which if you guys don't know, is like a super cool place where you can do like zip lining. There's like water, beach. It's a lot of like extreme sports, I guess. But anyway, like after we were done, we were leaving the park and we were going to stop by the gift shop. And I always love going to the gift shops. So my wallet this whole time had been in my dad's backpack. And when we were putting everything away, my dad sees like the wallet was inside the backpack and he gets it out and he's like, "Do you want it?" And I'm like, "No." And I said, "No, yeah, cuz we're going to the gift shop and maybe I'll buy something." And so I get my wallet with $500. We got to the gift shop. There was nothing I wanted to buy, so I didn't buy anything. And then on our way back to the hotel, we stopped at the Krispy Kremes. Cause
Boom, boom, boom.
yeah. And so we stopped at a Krispy Kremes, and obviously my mom was the one who was gonna buy the donuts. She was the one with the money. She was just gonna buy it for everyone. But I decided to also get down and bring my wallet with me when I could have just left it in the car because I wasn't going to pay for the donuts. And I got down because I went to the restroom. I needed to go to the restroom. So I go to the restroom. I put my wallet right on top of the toilet paper thingy. So I put it there. And then again, I had a swimming suit. So it was like a one piece. So I had to like, well, I guess I don't have to explain. But like I was in the toilet. And then I was just, sorry. I was looking at the wallet and I was like, "Don't forget the wallet, don't forget the wallet, don't forget the wallet." And I just kept repeating to myself because I knew I forgot things.
Don't forget
Like,
the wallet.
I just don't forget the wallet, don't forget the wallet, don't forget the wallet. And then the moment I got up to pull everything up, just by doing that action, it distracted my mind. So I stopped saying, "Don't forget your wallet" to myself. So I walk out of the restroom. My mom is ready with the donuts. We get out of the Krispy Kremes and we leave. Then in like, I think it had already been like 20 minutes of driving. I just feel my heart sink. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, my wallet." So then I just start looking, not saying anything. We were in a rental car. I'm not saying anything. I'm just looking desperately. And then Natalia, my sister, she was sitting in the middle and she's just like, "¿Qué?" Like, I just look at her like all scared. And then she just looks at me and she instantly knew what was going on. She's like, "You forgot your wallet." And I'm just like, "Mm-hmm." And I didn't want to say anything because 3 months ago I had lost my phone. And then when she said that, my parents are like, "¿Qué?" Like, and then yeah. Then we went back. They were like super mad at me. They were like just telling me stuff on the way back. They were like, "It's been so long already. Like, it's probably gone. They probably already took it." Just And then we get there. My mom and I get down. I run to the restroom, and then my mom goes to the cashier to, I guess, see if anyone had like turned it in. I go to a restroom. There wasn't anything. And then
That sucks.
yeah. And then I come back with my mom and she's talking to the manager. And the manager is like, he starts like interrogating me. He's like, "So what color was your wallet? And what color was the zipper? And what did you have inside?" And I just started like giving all of these descriptions. And meanwhile, he was like the ugliest faced person ever. He
Whoa.
was like, and
Damn.
like not because he was like not handsome or like, but just the fact that his face was like
He's kind of like making fun of you.
he was making fun of me. Like he was like laughing, like smiling. He was almost
It's like an evil
smiling.
smile.
Yeah, it was an evil smile. And then he's like, "Oh, I think we have it." And then he goes back to the room, whatever, and he brings, "Is this your wallet?" And I'm like, I'm all excited. I'm like, "Yes, that's my wallet." And he's like, "Thank you so much." And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." As we were walking out, my mom is like, "Yeah, but open it. Your money's probably not in there." And as soon as I open it, no cash
Damn.
in the wallet. And just so you know, like $500 plus in Mexico turned to pesos, that's like
10,000 pesos.
it's a lot of money. Like
Like literally right now, if you try like 10,000 pesos is $500.
anyways, that's why I got a debit card so that I wouldn't carry all my cash like that and just lose it so easily. I just started getting like credit cards from stores and things like that. And honestly, like it's not bad because like I said, use it and pay it. Only use what you know you have. And when you use it in stores that you like, that you go to a lot of a lot of times, um, it's good to use credit cards rather than just use like American Express or something like that because you actually get points for the store that you like. So if if you have an iPhone and you want AirPods and you like their Apple cases, then get an Apple credit card because you get points. And Adrian recently got like $125 worth of gift cards from Apple, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, it's a good thing to get credit cards from stores if you pay them right away, obviously.
I guess like the point of this whole video, creative couple talking about finances, like we're obviously kind of like Mary and I are at that point where we can actually, well, we want to actually start being able to plan for a future. And we're young-ish. I'm 23, she's 22. But I feel like it's good to get in that mentality. That way, like, for example, this whole summer that I've been paying off my debt, like $7,000 worth of debt. We kind of like limited our going out to eat and like, and I'm not ashamed to say it, but most of the times we went out to eat this summer, Mary paid for me, So, that's, excuse me. So, excuse me. So, like, I know as a guy, like, well, I mean, the guy doesn't always have to pay. You could always like split it as well. I feel like a lot of couples say that, especially like
Today.
nowadays. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially today, it's very like she should pay for herself. He pays for himself. Like, and that's good. But I know, like traditionally, the guy's always going to try to pay. And I guess it takes like a little bit of kind of like humility to be able to be like, hey, like and it wasn't even like, hey, I can't pay. It was just like, Mary, like, yeah, because it wasn't like that at all. It was just like, hey, Adrian, like, let's go out. And I'm like, well, it's like, she was like, don't worry, I'll pay.
And I just want to say, like, I think when we first started dating, like, you would almost always pay for me. And, like, you've always, like, when you had your car, you would always take me wherever I needed to go. And you never complained about anything, about paying every time, about wasting gas or anything like that. So I feel like it's my time to give it back to you, like, so it's okay. Like, I know Asian's struggling a little right now. Like he was paying his debt. Now he has a little bit more money, but yeah, so it's okay. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, that was me this summer. And I don't think I would have been like, oh, how do I tell Mary that I don't want to go out? Or if we do, that she pays. Like I didn't have to worry about that because like we I don't know at what point it was, but we just started opening up to each other about like our finances and our debt and so, well, Mary zero debt, and like I started opening about my debt. Yeah, basically I was the one opening up with all my problems. But yeah, basically like it's good, like I said.
And oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, and I feel like like God's timing is perfect because I didn't have a job for the longest time, and I feel like that's why you would usually pay for almost everything because you were the one getting paid. I didn't have any income at all. Like all the money I had really was from like I don't even know where I was getting money from. Honestly, like God was just providing
From
because
Jesus.
yeah, like I wasn't working and I still had I mean like a few hundred always on my bank account. I don't know how. And it's not like my parents just give me money for fun like, like I'm blessed enough to that they pay for my rent and if I need any money I know I can ask for them. But for the longest time I didn't have a job or a car. So now I feel like, I got blessed with this job and I get paid well. So, I'm able to, pay for lunch or pay for the movies or something if I can. So,
Yeah.
and that I honestly I just realized I think that's something that it's just instilled in me as a person. I always try to get the the most I can out of things. So if I can buy something and get a reward for it, I will. If Chick-fil-A is giving you a free sandwich, get it. Like if if there's a special on Pizza Hut today, well, no, I guess no. Not that, because that's just like buying to buy.
Yeah.
But anyway, the thing is that credit cards can be very, very beneficial if you can use them.
And also, we have a gift for you. We actually have a giveaway. All you need to do is go down to the link in the description box below, and that's actually going to be a referral code to open up a credit card with Discover, which is our personal favorite right now, which is the card that I recently used to pay for
the last one you paid too.
the last one that I just paid off yesterday.
And he got it through my referral. So I referred Adrian, and
I got $50,
and I got $50.
Yeah, you get $50. I'll get 50, or she'll get $50. We'll put both of our referral codes, and then you can just click whoever you want to get $50.
Whoever you like better.
Whoever you like better, you could click on their
But
link.
he's trying to pay off debt, so go to Adrian's.
Yeah.
No, but really, like, once you get the credit card, if you use the referral code, you'll get $50. And I have 2 witnesses that has worked. Adrian and my sister. They both got it with my referral code, and I got $50, just like 50 for each.
Yeah. And so that's honestly really cool. Like, you don't even need to spend money like to get $50. You just get $50 for opening it with the link in the description box.
Well,
below.
actually, if I get $50 for you getting accepted, but for you to get $50, you just need to make one purchase.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So one purchase, you can buy a 69-cent drink.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah.
But not only that though, like Discover also it sounds like it's sponsored, but Discover also
because it's really good. Discover's really good.
But it's free money.
It's free money.
Yeah.
It's free real estate.
And not only the cashback, but also if you're a good student and you have a GPA over $20, 3, you get $20.
Yeah.
And honestly, they don't even ask for your transcript. So even
they didn't ask me.
No, so even if you're not a good student, like if your GPA is not good, try and click on it and maybe you'll get it.
They'll just take your word for it.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, like we highly recommend, and we are not sponsored at all, obviously. We really do just love Discover. It's really cool. And like, it's given us, Discover has given us basically as a couple, like collectively 100, well, I mean, basically 150.
50?
Your sister.
Oh, yeah. Well, plus the 20 from good
Oh,
grades.
well, then 180. Yeah. No, 190. $190.
200. No, 90. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. And that's not even counting cashback. That's just counting the referral codes.
True.
Yeah. So like, it's crazy. Like Discover has poured a lot of money into. So I guess that's why we kind of feel grateful to Discover, and we just want to make that free sort of like ad for them. But it really is a good card, and I wouldn't mind $50. I actually want. I need $50. So if you guys want to go ahead and open up that credit card account with the links below, yeah, that would be really cool. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to say?
No, I was just gonna say like, but remember to pay your credit card.
Remember to pay it off.
Like, because if you don't treat it right, it's not gonna treat you right, and you're gonna have. I mean, for 6 months you won't have interest, but then it's just gonna accumulate. So.
Yeah. So this was episode 1 of the Creative Couple podcast. We want to also talk about creative things. Don't worry, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not always going to be like about this. It really is more like us and where we're at and like our goals.
Yeah, and things we, I guess, enjoy talking about. Because we do talk about money and investing and saving a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're forcing ourselves to do this. Like, I think it's something that comes natural. Because, yeah.
So please let us know, about you in the comments. Let us know if you liked the video. We hope you did. We hope you leave a like, to the video, because that just helps out a lot. And also, I recently got back into the YouTube partnership program, so I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And if you want to share this with your friends, feel free to do that. And also, I'm an Amazon associate, so basically, this video is made with, pretty cool microphone, a pretty cool camera, a pretty cool light, basically a lot of gear, right? And I have links to all the gear that I use. And you can actually, if you scroll down to the description box where the referral code is, you can find links to all this stuff if you're interested in buying a camera or a lens soon. Even if you're not, and you click on the links to the Amazon products, whatever you buy through my links, I'll be able to get like a very, 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 very small commission, but that just helps out a lot. So that's like a good way of supporting the channel. I would appreciate it a lot if you bought your next Amazon products through my links. I would appreciate that. So they'll be there for you to check out. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching the podcast. Again, my name is Adrian Mendoza.
And I'm Mary.
And this has been the Creative Couple Podcast, episode 1. Bye.
Bye.